welcome to the One Piece Ram YouTube channel. I am Frankie15,
And I'm Sweetjacky.
and today we're going to be reviewing One Piece chapter 849, entitled Proper in Mirrorland. And at the start of this chapter, we get the Vince Smokes family meal, or meeting, or whatever you want to call it, and they're discussing their plans of what they'll do after the wedding. And so they want to kidnap Pudding and make her, I don't know, like a Sandy slave, I don't know. And I mean, what would they do after they captured her? Like they've got like Big Mom. It's just they've got Big Mom on, like they've got an enemy of Big Mom, which is gonna be pretty bad. You don't want to make an enemy of Big Mom. Anyone doesn't want to do that, so like it's gonna be pretty bad for them. I mean, what do you think they will do like after they do that?
Well, I think they want to try taking Pudding as a hostage.
Mm.
So maybe they have some plans with Big Mom
Yeah.
to use her for something.
Yeah. I think they're highly underestimating Big Mom. They think that she's just like a lowly pirate. That's what they keep calling every kind of pirate, but it's like it's Big Mom, she's a Yonko. This just it's not gonna be as easy as they think. And
Yeah.
before this conversation, just they mentioned that Reiju is not there. She's gone missing or something. Been a while since I've seen her, so just keep that in mind until the rest of the chapter. We'll come back to it. Okay. The next part of the chapter we go to Mirrorland, where Chopper is captured and Pudding's about to be murdered by getting boiled in Brulee's broth, and but we find out that this isn't really going to happen. That Chopper really did have some kind of plan. Maybe it was a plan, who knows. And in the attic is Carrot, the real Carrot, who's pretending to be captured, and it's really just a frog that Brulee has made out of a mirror. And it feels like Brulee was kind of dumb in this one. Like, how did she not realize? Do you think so?
Yeah. Yeah. Like she was tricked by her own powers. It's pretty
Yeah,
stupid.
exactly right. I mean, first she was able to trick Luffy earlier in the arc, but like this time she's tricked herself. I don't know. It's kind of weird. For anyone who's forgotten Brulee's powers, she can make clones out of people using other animals mixed with her mirror powers. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if I explained it very well, but that seems to be how it works. So, Carrot in the attic, she finally attacks. She frees the frog. She kicks over the pot and fries Brulee in her own making, and then she uses. You like the attack, right?
Yeah, Electrical Luna.
Yeah.
Really
Pretty
awesome
nice.
attack.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Do you think we'll see it again? Anything like that?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then Chopper goes into Brain Point. He gets out of his chains and becomes his Monster Point, and he slams the crocodile down. It was similar to how Nekomamushi like slammed Jack when he was in his mammoth form back in Zoo, I thought. But yeah, I feel like Chopper's Monster Point seems a lot smaller than it used to do, right? Do you think so too?
Yeah.
It's like when we first saw it, it was so huge, and it was just like such a big thing. Go on.
Like the crocodile guy is really big ass, but compared to that, it seems really small, the Monster Point.
Yeah, like I expect Chopper when he goes to Monster Point just to be so huge that he breaks out of any kind of house that he's in, and he's just like he doesn't really seem much bigger, to be honest. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a lot bigger than his Brain Point, obviously, but in general, it doesn't seem that much bigger than some of the people that are there. So it's kind of disappointing. Even though he does defeat this croc dude, I do feel like overall.
Yeah,
Go on.
but this crocodile dude was also kind of disappointing. Like they all started fighting, but he was just sitting around
Yeah.
waiting until Chopper attacked him.
Yeah. So in overall, Croc and Chopper disappointing.
Yeah, and I think the rest of Big Mom's people who were in the mirror world were also a bit disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Randolph would have been able to do more. He seemed quite he seemed
Yeah.
quite cool and like he'd be able to fight. And then so what's his name? Diesel ends up managing to escape, and Carrot catches up to him seemingly with ease. Do you think that's what happened?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Carrot was just running after him normally, or if she used a mirror, because on the ground we saw a mirror next to Diesel. So do you think she used this, or she's just really fast?
I'm not sure. I think that she could have used a mirror, but I feel like it was a good chance to just like say how fast Carrot was. I mean, we've seen her being
Yeah,
fast
true.
before, so I think it's a good point. And I don't know how she'd be able to control use the mirrors so well. I'm not sure how she would be able to do that. But Brule is defeated after all, so
Yeah.
and then we go to the next part of the chapter, which is Sanji in his room for the moment, and he's talking about how Pudding didn't show up for his dinner that he invited her to, and he has his flowers ready, all ready to give to Pudding, but she didn't show up. What a shame. I wonder where she is.
Yeah, and also the servant of Big Mom, or whoever he is, was telling Sanji what happened to the other Straw Hats, but he didn't really seem to care.
Yeah, maybe he's just blanking it all out because he doesn't want to know because it'll make him too sad.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I doubt that he doesn't care. He clearly probably does care.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just pretending that he doesn't care.
Yeah, maybe he thinks it's some Vince Smoke spy. He doesn't want to care. Yeah. And that's really it about that point. So we'll just move on to the good stuff of the chapter. I really like is
Okay.
Brooke running rampant in the poneglyph room. I can't remember the name of the room.
Treasure room.
Treasure room. That was easy.
Yeah.
And he's beaten everyone apart from one guy, and then he does some kind of move. I can't remember the move's name, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just really cool to see Brooke going ham and absolutely just trashing all these fodder characters. And they are fodder,
Yeah, I think
but
so.
still,
I think so too.
yeah. He uses some kind of ice move with his sword. I really like that. And then he goes up to the poneglyph room and tries to change the poneglyph. And then what happens?
Then Big Mom comes and says she found a really rare creature
Yeah. Yeah,
and so much hype.
Yeah. It seems like Brooke is kind of screwed here. Big Mom
Yeah.
comes up to the door. What's her face? The name of Big Mom's
Smoothie.
smoothie. That's it. She's like, Big Mom, what are you doing here? And and Big Mom just like move out of the way and just kicks the door down. And then she finds her prize. She'll be happy with that. So do you think Brooke will, I don't know, fight her? Do you think he'll escape? Do you think he'll what do you think?
I'm not sure what he will do. Like, he could try to fight her, but I don't really think he could do much against her. Like, I have the feeling maybe Big Mom wants to catch him and put him in her collection of rare creatures.
Yeah.
But I don't think she will kill him because of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could just do what he did on Dressrosa, right? With Jorah, and just pretend that he switched sides, and then Big Mom was like, and then at the end he'll just switch back, plot twist. But I don't see how that would happen. I think Big Mom's too smart for that. And I think what's going to happen is I think Brooke might go into astral projection form and just come out of his body, so that Big Mom thinks he's just dead or something. I mean, and then maybe on a later stage he can just return to his body.
Yeah, but she also has some kind of soul devil fruit, so maybe she would notice that he escaped.
Maybe, but they are two different devil fruits, so I don't see how that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder if she could catch his soul too.
oh god, that'd be insane. That'd be like, no, not Brooke. Yeah, I don't know. It's all up to speculation at this point. I want Brooke to escape.
I don't know. I really would like for something else to happen than just him escaping.
What, do you want him to be captured?
No, I don't really know, but I mean, just running away seems a bit boring.
Maybe he can just play dead, pretend to be a skeleton. He's done that many times before, right?
That's so much a no-stop move.
Yeah. He just goes, I'm dead! Yo! And just leave it as that. Big Mom turns around and walks away. Seems legit. Yeah. So
I don't think that will happen.
no. So the next bit, we move on to Pedro, who's running away from the huge Big Mom army, and he runs into Byron Tamago. And this is really cool because we get some needed backstory for Pedro. I mean, I remember when he first is introduced and people thought he was like some kind of spy working against the Straw Hats, and that's why Big Mom knew they were there. But it seems that it's just he was here before, and Big Mom, as punishment for him trying to steal the poneglyphs, took 50 years away from his life. That's pretty bad. So essentially, he's like old age now. Say he was in his 30s, right? So 50 years taken off. So add 50 years to that. He's like 80 years old essentially, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty old.
Pretty old.
Unless he lives to like the age of Hiriluk, Dr. Hiriluk, and was it Hiriluk? Yeah, who was like 120 years old. So I doubt he'll live that long though.
And Dr. Kulea, or what her name was.
Oh, Kureha. Yeah, no, I got it wrong. Yeah, Dr. Kureha.
Also old.
Yeah. So, do you think that, seeing as Pedro's been had so many years taken off him, do you think that Big Mom has done the same to Jinbei?
Well, we saw Big Mom having this roulette thing or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And there was this one field with her head and the crown over it, and we still don't know what it is. So maybe it could be taking away lifespan from Jinbei.
Yeah.
So maybe she did the same to Pedro.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I
I don't remember the symbols that were on the wheel, but I definitely could see that. And
yeah, I remember losing a leg, losing an arm, losing the head, or the symbol which we don't know what it is.
I mean, if Jinbei got 50 years taken off him, that would be even worse because he's like in his 50s or something, right?
Yeah, but maybe fishmen live longer, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. So we get some when Tamago and Pedro are talking, we find out that they've had a fight before, and they both managed to do the exact same thing, which is scar each other's eyes. Like, what are the odds of that? Just doing the exact same attack at the same time that made them do that? I don't know.
I would love to see a flashback of this fight.
That would be pretty cool.
Would be good.
So, the idea is that Byron Tamago is stronger than Peckham's, right? That's the feeling that I got. Is he stronger than Peckham's? Peckham's had a bounty of 330 million berries. And if Pedro was to be able to fight equal with Byron Tamago, that means he's like at least Sanji level, right? Pedro.
Yeah, seems pretty strong.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. That's pretty cool. I like that. So
I mean, he was a pirate captain as well.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
Out this Nox pirates or something like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We found this out in this chapter too.
Yeah, that was cool. I like Pedro a lot, so it's fun to see a lot of his backstory. Pedro for Straw Hat, yay!
Yeah, carrot for Straw Hat.
And then we move on to the last part of the chapter, which, if you remember when I said earlier, there was Reiju missing, and then now we get Reiju. She's all injured and battered, and she's just walking through a corridor, and we have no idea what's happened to her. So, what could have happened to her? What do you think?
Well, since Pudding was also missing in this chapter, and like no one knows where she is, maybe it has something to do with her.
Yeah, I think so. We got in the same chapter. We got hints that Reiju's missing, and then Pudding didn't show up to the dinner with Sanji, and then we get this at the end. It's kind of like what I'm speculating is that maybe because I've always thought that Pudding is evil, or like.
Well, it doesn't mean she has to be evil, but at least that she's strong.
Yeah,
or, like,
she's strong.
Not weak.
And she's probably the three-eyed girl. I think a lot of people, after last chapter especially, when we saw her on that chair in the flashback.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. So I think that I've always thought that she's against the Straw Hats, so she's not actually as willing to help them as what she's trying to make out. And I think that maybe Reiju went to Pudding, or maybe Pudding went to Reiju, and they had a little conversation about Sanji. Maybe Pudding got really annoyed about what Reiju was saying and just decided, right, I want to take her out, and decided to try and kill her, but she wasn't successful or something like that. I think that could be very plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anything else that would have happened. I can't imagine why, like, someone would just randomly attack Reiju.
Well, I could imagine that maybe Reiju knows something, I don't know what, but something, and someone of Big Mom's crew found out about it and tried to attack her.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like, when we first saw Reiju, she's pretty strong, right? So, whoever... Yeah. I'm thinking that a random crew member, say, like, the crew members that we saw earlier, like Diesel, Brule, and I don't feel like they'd be able to beat her in a fight. So it has to be someone pretty strong, like one of the higher-up crew members.
Maybe it could be another Sweet Commander. Or did we already see all of them?
No, we didn't see all of them. We haven't seen Starch.
Yeah, maybe a missing one.
Maybe. But I mean, Big Mom's crew aren't always the same level. Like, obviously, Peckham's and Tamago are stronger than, say, like, Brule and this Croc dude and Diesel. They're clearly stronger than them, aren't they? So it's kind of hard to explain. It could have just been anyone, but I really do think it's Pudding that's done that.
It could be Pudding. But I also read somewhere that it might be bigger. So maybe he wants to try getting the Windsmokes and Big Mom's crew in the fight, so that it's easier for him to take down Big Mom or something like that.
Oh, right. Oh, you mean Beige. Capone.
Beige.
Capone Beige. Oh, yeah. No one knows how to pronounce that name. It's fine. I don't know. I feel like, I think Beige is going to come at some point, and he's going to reveal what he wants to do. I think that's going to be cool. But I don't know if he's done this.
Right now, I feel like it could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone. So, is that the end of the chapter? Is there anything else you want to say?
I want to say I was really happy that the frog in the mirror world was safe and wasn't cooked.
Oh.
Yeah, it was great.
I was really happy that we got to see, like, a lot of the good guys, a lot of the Straw Hat crews doing some stuff, which is really cool. I mean, maybe not Chopper as much, because I feel kind of disappointed by Chopper since the New World. Yeah. Chopper's disappointing in general.
And Carrot took out almost all of the Big Mom people who were there, and Chopper, I think he only took out the crocodile.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah. So maybe we could speculate on what we think Chopper and Carrot are going to do now that they have full control of the mirror world and they can help people.
Maybe they will try to save Luffy and Nami.
Yeah, I mean, probably going to just, like, because they can probably just go in and out of the mirror world, like pull someone in the mirror world and then go to somewhere else. And so I was thinking maybe they'll go and they'll find Brook, because for all we know, the scene that takes place with Brule's crew in the mirror world could have happened like a few hours before what happened with Big Mom finding Brook, right? So it could be at the very last moment, as Brook's about to be captured by Big Mom, they just pull Brook into the mirror world or something and retrieve him and escape.
So
that could happen.
Carrot and Chopper save Brook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. That could be how he escapes.
I really wonder what Oda's planning to do with everyone.
Yeah.
So many possibilities.
there's so many things scattered around the island. I really love this arc, and I just really
Yeah.
hope that it continues to be really cool. And Oda has stated that he's already halfway through this arc, so it's not going to be as long as Dressrosa. Thank God, right? So that's good. Anyway, shall we end this chapter review?
Okay.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Jackie's first review, so give an extra like because she's super nervous and she's done super well today. So give her an extra like, give her an extra subscribe, and give her an extra comment in the comment section. This has been the One Piece chapter 849 review. Bye.
Bye.